welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something I think we've all felt: how to stop fighting with our AI assistants and actually start creating amazing things with them. We're going to turn those, frustrating, kind of generic responses into genuinely useful, creative collaborations.
Right? You know that feeling? You ask for something you think is simple and what you get back is bland or totally unhelpful, or it just completely misses the point. It's super common, but the good news is it is absolutely fixable.
Okay, let's just dive right in. Look at the difference here. I mean, it's night and day, right? On the left, write a story about a car, and you get, well, pretty much nothing. The car was red, it drove fast, the end. But on the right, a super specific prompt gives you the beginning of an actual thriller. This simple comparison gets right to the heart of what we're talking about today. The quality of what you put in. Well, it directly controls the quality of what the AI gives you back.
And that brings us to what I like to call the AI communication gap. See, the problem isn't that the AI is dumb. Not at all. The real issue is how we're talking to it. We just need to learn its language.
That is where prompt engineering comes in. And I know, it sounds super technical, maybe a little intimidating, but I promise it has nothing to do with coding. It is simply the art of crafting clear instructions. Think of it less like barking a command and more like starting a really specific, thoughtful conversation.
Here's a really helpful way to think about it. Imagine you have this incredibly powerful assistant who is also, well, extremely literal. They don't guess what you mean. They don't infer your hidden intentions. They just analyze the exact words you gave them and predict the most likely sequence of words to come next. And that's why precision is absolutely everything.
All right, so enough with the theory. Let's get practical. In this next part, we're going to cover the foundational rules for having a much better conversation with any AI. This is going to be your core toolkit.
So, principle number 1, and honestly this is the big one, be specific. We saw this with our car story, right? Vague requests will always lead to vague, boring results. So the trick is to give it details. What's the genre? What's the tone? Who are the characters? You have to give the AI the building blocks it needs to make something cool.
Let's look at this in action. A vague prompt would just be write about the moon landing. But check this one out. It specifies the exact event, Apollo 11, and tells the AI exactly what to focus on, the sequence from launch to moonwalk. This kind of specificity guides the AI and stops it from just spitting out a generic Wikipedia summary.
Okay, next up, provide context. This is all about giving the AI the bigger picture. Why are you asking for this? Who is this for? Is it a formal memo, a casual blog post, an academic paper? Context helps the AI understand the purpose behind the task.
And this is a perfect example of just how powerful context can be. We're not just asking for a blog post here. We're telling the AI to become a travel writer. We're defining the magazine's style, and most importantly, the target audience. The AI is now going to adopt that specific voice and tailor its language to fit that persona. It's a game changer.
Let's round out our toolkit with 3 more quick but really powerful principles. First, show, don't just tell. If you can, give the AI an example of the style you want. Second, use strong action verbs. Tell it what to do. Compose, summarize, analyze. And finally, set some boundaries. Tell it if you need 1 paragraph or a 1,000-word article.
Okay, so you've got the fundamentals down. Now let's build on that foundation. It's time to move from those basic instructions to some more advanced, really powerful techniques. Let's level up.
Here's the real secret to getting amazing results. It's not about writing the one perfect prompt on the very first try. I promise you, nobody does that. The real magic is in iteration. It's just a simple cycle. You write a prompt, you look at what it gives you, you figure out what's missing, and then you refine your prompt. You just repeat that little loop until you get exactly what you were looking for.
Let's go back to our travel writer prompt from before. So, let's say the first output was good, but maybe a little general. Maybe we need more juicy details about the hotels. Well, this refined prompt is the perfect example of iteration. We're not starting from scratch. We're just continuing the conversation, asking the AI to expand on a specific part of what it already gave us.
Now for some really fun advanced tools. With the persona technique, you tell the AI who to be. Act as a marketing expert. With a structured prompt, you can give it a template to fill out, which makes sure you get all the info you need. And with conditional prompting, you can ask for specific stylistic things like write a poem in the style of Edgar Allan Poe. How cool is that?
So, we've got the theory, we've got the techniques, but what does this actually look like in practice? Let's explore what's really possible when you apply great prompt engineering to some real-world creative projects. So first up, a text project, a sci-fi starship log. Notice all the elements here. We're giving the AI a persona. You are the captain. Then we give it a very specific high-stakes scenario, a reactor malfunction, during a meteor shower. This prompt isn't just asking for a story, it's creating a world and a character, and that's going to lead to a way more dramatic response.
Now, what about images? These same principles are absolutely critical. This prompt is incredibly specific. It dictates the subject, the style, photorealistic, the color palette, purple and gold, and even the artistic composition, the rule of thirds. This level of detail gives you so much creative control over the final image. And it doesn't stop there. It's not just text and images. For audio, you can be just as precise. This prompt sets the length, the mood, eerie, ambient, and the setting, a desolate Martian landscape. You're not just asking for some random sound, you're directing a whole sonic experience. Okay, this is all incredibly powerful stuff. But you know what they say, with great power comes the need for, well, great responsibility. So for our final section, let's talk about how to use these amazing tools with a little wisdom and caution.
So, as you start using these tools, there are just a few things you gotta keep in the back of your mind. Because these AIs learn from, well, basically the entire internet, their output can sometimes reflect biases from that data. They can also hallucinate, which is a great way of saying they can confidently make up facts or sources just to give you an answer. And it should go without saying, but it's always a good idea to never put sensitive or confidential information into a public model.
Which brings me to the final, most important step of all. And if you remember nothing else from this, please remember this. You are the final editor. Always. Always fact-check any information an AI gives you, especially when it comes to things like names, dates, and sources. Don't trust, verify.
You know, this quote really just wraps it all up perfectly. Prompt engineering isn't some dark art. It's just about effective communication. By learning how to craft, iterate, and refine your prompts, you're not just getting better answers. You're building a new skill. You're turning AI into a truly effective collaborator.
And that brings us to the end. You now have the principles, the techniques, and the awareness to get so much more out of these incredible tools. The keys to a powerful creative engine are officially in your hands. So my question to you is, what will you build first?